All right, it's Sunday 8:55 right now. I don't know if you caught that, the Teams message ping from my MD. Can you either tonight or first thing in the morning update the following, which basically means tonight. Anyone in the private equity banking world, you're an analyst associate, you felt this before. This is what we signed up for, so it's time to get cranking away. All right, it's 5:30 right now. I went to sleep at 1 o'clock last night, and we're back up. It's tough. This is tough. And this is, I think, the behind the scenes that I think nobody really shows about finance. I think everybody knows it's tough hours, but they're tough hours to show you here. And I do this because I think this is aligned with my goals. But right now we're working on selling this office property. We're taking this deal to committee to recommend selling it. And we've been selling office since we started selling office in 2023, offloading all office from our portfolio. And this deal in particular is a building in Venice. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but basically it's one where we're coming across pricing that's not as strong as we thought when we started the marketing process. You know, we thought we were going to hit a certain range. We're only at a certain range now that we've gotten all our bids in from buyers. And one of the cool things about this job is conducting buyer interviews as an asset manager, making the decision of who you want to sell to. And that's been a really cool and eye-opening experience, because as an asset manager, you make the decision who you want to select as the buyer. And so you pick up on the things that make you want to select somebody. And one of the top things I've noticed is how a buyer presents themselves, which is ultimately public speaking is what it boils down to. People who present themselves not as confident about the transaction, not as confident about their ability to close, not as confident about their understanding of this asset, we're not as likely to pick them, even if they all have the money, the capital. Obviously, the capital goes a long way, but it's not when everybody has the capital. You need other things to distinguish yourself. And I think about that a lot, because I think about when I want to go out and invest in my own real estate, when there's the right time to do that. How do I want to position myself so that I have the reputation, I have the image, and I have the demonstration to other asset managers that I am capable of purchasing your asset? I think about a lot of young people that jump out into the real estate investing space right away, too green, and they don't make it because they're unable to acquire buildings. Let's say they have all their capital lined up, and that's not a problem. They've raised their money, which is usually a hurdle in and of itself. They go out into the marketplace, and when they're interviewing with asset managers, they're not able to confidently detail what they want to do with the asset, where their capital is coming from, how they want to close. And because of that, you're not going to be able to close. And when you're not able to close, you're ultimately not doing investments. And that's where I think a lot of people go wrong, or what a lot of people overlook. It's like, look, if I can find money, I can buy deals. No, it's not that easy. It's not that straightforward. And I've been able to see that on the back end, or on the flip side, being an asset manager and selecting buyers. And that's why I value work so much over starting a business right away. It's because work gives you that springboard into entrepreneurship. All right, enough said. I gotta crank out this memo so that we can get this deal approved. I see. All right, it's just under 9 o'clock, heading home on the Uber. And I was thinking today about something.
I was hanging out with my friend that's moving out to California earlier this weekend, and we were hanging out on Sunday. And this is someone obviously that I won't see for a long time, so I wanted to spend, as long as I could with her. We reached sort of the end of the afternoon, and I get this sense of stress of not having completed all my work and having a sense that I needed to go home to wrap that up. And in that moment, no longer felt present with her because I had this looming deadline, so to speak, unfinished work that I needed to complete. And I think about this a lot because it's the slightest example and real life demonstration for me of why I do what I do. For me, I do what I do because I never want to be in a situation where, this is my Uber. What I was saying before I got in the car was I never want to be in a position in life where I want to help somebody that matters to me, and not be able to do that, whether that's because of money or because of health or any other personal restrictions. If there's somebody that I care about that I want to be able to help, I want to be able to do that. And I think about that in this situation because she was someone I wanted to spend time with. It was her last day here, and yet I had this looming obligation that prevented me from doing that. And I feel like that is the slightest exhibition of what I work so hard to be able to do. I put in the work and the time now to be able to put myself in a position so that down the line when a family member needs help or someone else that I care about needs help, I can be in that position to be able to help them and not be held back by any restrictions, whether that's money, whether that's my personal health, or any other restrictions. And this weekend, I think, was a very friendly reminder of that, because if you don't take signs like this to be serious, you'll run into that situation down the line where you forget this. And that's why I'm thinking about it a lot, even though it was just a very small, some could say quick and generally meaningless interaction or sort of encounter. I am thinking about that a lot because I can see how it can snowball into something with a lot more negative impact.
All right, it's 8:30 Thursday morning. I'm getting ready literally for this interview that I have, and I get pinged from my MD that I need to put together a short one-page memo to take to investment committee today. And basically what happened was we had this deal that was formally approved by investment committee already in the past, and we got retraded. Purchase price got cut $1 million. We're selling it, so we have to go back to them for approval. And we just agreed to this deal this morning, like 20 minutes ago. And in order to be able to sign the PSA, we have to get investment committee approval. And so I got the message, we need to go to committee to get today, put together a one-pager, and I just got off the phone with him. And he was like, do this in the next hour so that it can get out. So just when I thought this week was kind of like getting chill, there's no problems, getting ready for Memorial Day weekend, long weekends, boom, it's gotta stay on your feet. So stick around for the next hour to see how this goes down.
About 12:30 right now. Just finished presenting both deals that I had at committee, including that one that I was cranking out this morning. I don't think I've ever done an investment committee memo like that in an hour and a half. Granted, it was sort of a shorter memo, an update memo, but man, to wake up to that message and crank it out in an hour and a half in the morning to squeeze it in before investment committee, that's what it takes apparently. But both deals got approved, which is super sweet. The work didn't go towards nothing. Finally get to take a breather. I think I was just like, mine was running 100 miles per hour this morning. Ran to work, was gonna take the call from my home because I didn't know if I would make it to the office in time. but there was a couple deals that went before my deal, and so I took a gamble, decided to take the train, hop on the train, AirPods in, listening to the committee the whole time, just fucking praying that those deals would take a long time so that they wouldn't get to mine, and finally booked it to the office and fucking finally taking a breather. Try to squeeze in when I can the rest of the workday, and then heading up to Boston for the long weekend. So to make the most of the last like 4 hours that I can today. We're closing on the sale of one of our industrial buildings in Michigan, and that usually is a scramble at the end. So well, hopefully that goes smooth and I can still make my train up to Boston. Alright fellas, I apologize in advance for the audio. I'm in the train vestibule. It's a little bit rackety, but man, what an incredible week it's been. From working to 1, waking up at 4, to spending my last day with one of my friends who's moving to California, to then today waking up, taking due deals to committee, writing one of those memos as soon as I woke up and rolled out of bed, and having both those deals approved, and then closing on the sale of one of the industrial buildings that I managed just about 3 hours ago at this point, and catching the train back to Boston. It's a fast moving life. It feels like it's moving 100 miles per hour, and really it goes by in the blink of an eye just like that. But every time when things slow down, like right now when things pass and I have a moment to take a breather and think about things, I think about what my life would look like without all the stress, without everything going on. And I think frankly I would miss it. And I think I would miss it because when things are so go, 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 at the end of the day, I look back and I can see that I made real progress, that I got a lot done, that I got better as a person, that I learned things. And while it's stressful and intense in the moment, when it's all said and done, when the day is over, when the week is over, you can point to things that you didn't have when the week started, when the day started, and you can then point to those tangibles or intangibles like skills that you now have and collected. And to me, I think that's what makes it really meaningful and what allows me to deal with the stress and intensity of living in that moment. Because when things slow down, when the dust settles, you know you come away with something. And I know everybody takes it differently, and I think that's just the most important part of it. You have to know what works for you. I like it, you might not, and that's cool. But there's a time to recharge and there's time to work, and this is certainly a time to recharge. And I'm gonna do a lot of nothing on this long weekend home with my family, my brothers, and I'll catch you guys on the flip next week. Peace.